Let us begin where all true metaphysics must begin, not with belief, but with structure. Reality, as it is popularly understood, is a consensus hallucination, one held together by language, culture, biology, and habit. The idea that time is linear, that identity is fixed, and that we move through a single thread of cause and effect, this is not truth. It is convenience. It is the user interface of a much deeper system. In actuality, time is nonlinear, identity is modular, and existence is holographic. You are not a being moving through a fixed world. You are a point of consciousness embedded within a multidimensional lattice of unfolding potentialities, each one vibrationally distinct, yet accessible, alterable, and fully real. This lattice of potentialities is what we refer to in this system as timelines. These are not metaphorical paths. They are vibrationally encoded strands of experience, each arising from a particular energetic configuration of selfhood. What you experience as your life is not simply the result of previous events, but of the frequency you are currently stabilizing in your field. That frequency, determined by thought, emotion, subconscious identity, and somatic resonance, locks you into a reality stream that mirrors your internal structure. This is the foundation of timeline shifting, the realization that you are not bound to a single strand of experience. You are selecting, moment by moment, which strand you walk, by what you believe, how you feel, and most importantly, who you believe yourself to be. We must pause here to emphasize a crucial distinction. Timeline shifting is not about force. It is not about overriding the universe. It is not about denying your current reality. It is about moving with surgical precision into vibrational coherence with a version of self that already exists, and thereby aligning with the reality that version of self inhabits. All real power in this domain flows from one principle. You do not create reality through desire. You create it through resonance. And resonance is identity made vibrational. So the first and most essential step is identity calibration. Most people try to shift timelines while clinging to outdated self concepts. They affirm abundance while still identifying as someone who lacks. They visualize love while holding on to the energetic posture of abandonment. They chant affirmations of healing while their subconscious is broadcasting trauma signatures so loudly it drowns out all else. And the universe, it does not hear your words, it feels your frequency. To calibrate your identity is to redefine who you are, not in concept, but in energetic precision. This is not merely about thinking differently. It is about embodying a different structural coherence at the level of thought form, emotional habit, somatic presence, and neurological wiring. In other words, you cannot become a new self while remaining emotionally and behaviorally loyal to the old one. Here is where we introduce the energetic triad of identity modulation. 1. Cognitive deconstruction. The process of identifying and dismantling the mental architecture that reinforces the old timeline. This includes inherited beliefs, cultural programming, and personal conclusions drawn from past trauma. 2. Emotional transmutation. The alchemical process of transforming energetic residues that anchor you to timelines of limitation. This is not about bypassing grief, rage, or fear. It is about metabolizing them, integrating them, and reclaiming the power trapped within them. 3. Somatic repatterning. This involves rewiring the body's nervous system to support a new frequency. Until your body knows safety, your energy field will default to familiar survival timelines. So, this requires breath work, posture correction, energetic hygiene, and ritual embodiment. These three pillars form the nervous system of the new timeline. You cannot fake this. You cannot perform it on social media. You cannot manifest from dysregulation. You must become the version of you who is already capable of living the new life. This is not philosophy. This is quantum integrity. Once this identity begins to stabilize, we enter the realm of vibrational alignment. Every timeline has a signature frequency, its own terrain of emotional tones, self-concepts, and somatic patterns. To shift into that frequency, you must stop sending mixed signals. Many people live in what I call quantum dissonance, where their inner state, outer behavior, and spoken intention are all out of sync. They meditate in the morning, spiral in fear at noon, and soothe themselves with doubt by night. The field doesn't know what to mirror. To resolve this, you must enter coherence. This means that your thoughts, feelings, body, choices, boundaries, and relationships are all speaking the same energetic language. When coherence is achieved, the timeline shift is inevitable. Reality cannot resist a field that is fully aligned. But let us also be honest. Coherence is not comfortable. It demands sacrifice. The moment you begin aligning with your higher timeline, the old one begins to dismantle. People will exit. Institutions will collapse. False identities will fall away. You will be asked to let go of familiar suffering in order to claim unfamiliar peace. And many people, unconsciously, will self-sabotage here, not because they do not want the shift, but because they are still entangled with the psychic contracts of the past. That is why the second layer of this work is energetic disentanglement. You must sever the cords of loyalty to timelines you no longer wish to live. These cords may take the form of childhood coping mechanisms, generational trauma loops, karmic patterns, or energetic dependencies with others who reflect the frequency you're trying to transcend. This work is not conceptual, it must be ritualized. In this tradition, we use energetic clearing practices, emotional release work, and archetypal invocation to clean the field. We consecrate new timelines not with vision boards, but with embodied resonance, where the body becomes the altar and the breath becomes the invocation. Because ultimately, the highest technology of manifestation is not the mind, it is the body. The body is the densest expression of the soul's will. And until the body is brought into alignment with the future will remain conceptual. So, what does it mean to embody a timeline? It means that the way you walk, speak, breathe, eat, rest, and respond is calibrated to the version of you who has already claimed the shift. It means living not as who you hope to become, but as who you already are in a deeper stratum of reality. When embodiment is sustained over time, a vibrational portal opens. You begin to access opportunities, ideas, and relationships that were previously invisible, not because they were impossible, but because they were out of range. You have now tuned your consciousness to receive them. This is where synchronicity begins to replace strategy. This is where desire becomes direction, not longing. This is where the field responds to you, not because you demanded it, but because you became coherent with it. Timeline shifting is not a miracle, it is mechanics. It is the mechanics of frequency, the mechanics of identity, the mechanics of spiritual integrity, and it is available to every human being who is willing to stop performing the past and start embodying the future. This is what it means to be sovereign in the multiverse, not to control the field, but to become the kind of field that no longer requires control. And so I leave you with this. Your next timeline is not waiting for your perfection. It is waiting for your permission. You are not bound by your history. You are bound by your vibration. And the moment you align your inner world with the reality you seek, the universe will echo it back in form, not because it is magic, because it is law. If you want to learn the full framework for identity calibration, emotional clearing, energetic ritual, and somatic anchoring, click the link in the description to get your copy of Timeline Shifting, Master the Art of Multiversal Manifestation. This isn't about hacking the universe, it's about harmonizing with it. And you are already the frequency. Now become the form.